things. I gave you a minute, and we say for some education could be to train, for some education could be bring up the upcoming, maybe in your family. Whenever I asked you to think about education, you must have thought about your kids in the house, okay, and how they are taking education and how you would like them to take up education. So these two words, and that was crafted somewhere, given by Kraft in the year 1984. So moving forward, there are many definitions of education, and I picked them all up because I wanted to talk more about education here. Okay, till now, education, I don't know, I don't want to make it more like asking questions from you, but for some of you, when I said education, maybe the first thought came to you maybe was teacher. The word what comes is teacher. Yes, am I right? Yes, we all think education, first person who comes in front of us is the teacher. And then I can imagine a classroom and a board, and you know that the teacher has to come and start teaching something. So as soon as he or she walks into the class, they have something to say. They have something to come and tell you. Okay. And what do you as students expect? Yes, I need something which is unknown to me, which is something very exciting, which will give me a new outlook. Okay, that was the way education is till today. Okay, so we are more teacher centric. Think of your teachers. Eh? I was a teacher currently and a student. Okay, but we always think of a teacher centric. Okay. Some examples, like if you see the joke, the teacher comes in, walks to the board and starts writing on the board a derivation, doesn't look behind what's going on. That was the image of a teacher also for some years. But with this pandemic, we learned a lesson that teachers are no more teachers, they are facilitators. Okay, and with this particular decade, the new technologies coming in with your artificial intelligence, okay, machine learning. We're talking many buzzwords, automation. But a teacher can, they're telling yes, a teacher also can be automated. Okay, so we are also going to see that side of that. Can I automate a teacher? Okay, and with Chat GPT, what you're listening to today is this: can the teacher be replaced by a Chat GPT? So because that's a huge learning gone into that GPT, Chat GPT, and for us also as a teacher, our brain is also trained, and a lot of learning has happened with the years of experience each teacher has got. So now, I think quickly you must have just seen the definition of education. When I say they are Indian educationists, and for some of you, when I say Indian educationists, and I talk about Rig Veda, then we immediately travel back into a big, long back journey where it was Gurukuls, where there were gurus, and the education was imparted. Okay. So when I say education, first like what came to your mind was a teacher. But when I write here Rig Veda or Upanishads, maybe the guru comes in front of you. The teachers were treated as gurus. Okay, so we traveled back in that generation, and the gurus were taking the responsibility of these students who were there under them, how their overall development actually happens, how they can be molded to be a good citizen. So there are a lot of definitions of the education, but if you see, Shankaracharya talks about education is the realization of self. So this is the point somewhere I'm going to touch because it goes more with the holistic development. Okay, so education is a realization of self, and it is makes man self-reliant and selflessly. It can actually give back to the society. Now, when you see again some few more definitions which I got is talking about Panini and the popular sector when we started education was given by Rabindranath Tagore. He's saying that education that which makes one's life in harmony with all existence. Okay? These are very, very important key words I'm picking up on here. I'm not reading all other definitions, okay? But if you see all the definitions are perfect, okay? If you see what Swami Vivekananda just talks about is education is manifestation of the divine perfection which already exists in the man. or women, okay, and for the matter. When something is existing in us, we are trying to just polish it, we are just trying to present it and bring it out. Okay, so in the first slide, I touched a key word, which I'm going to take it forward. Education is realization of self, okay, and next in the slide, for me, the important definition of education is going to be education is that which makes one's life in harmony with all the existence. Okay? So these are the two definitions which are very, very important and core for holistic development. There are Western philosophers also. I took the Indian philosophers first, but there are Western philosophers also who have defined education in their own way. Okay. And I'll go with again in this slide, I'll go with Aristotle. He tells education is the creation of sound mind in a sound body. Okay. So I have not highlighted them purposefully because what happens is if I highlight them, you will not read the others. But these three terms, one is self realization, the next was harmony, and then the third slide, I'm picking out a sound mind and a sound body. Okay, so this talks about this is going to be keywords for my topic, which is holistic development. Again, Wikipedia tells education is a purposeful activity directed at achieving certain aims, such as transmitting knowledge or fostering skills and character traits. See now the important definition or the important keywords. So when a teacher or a guru, who or now the in terms of being facilitator, when they want to talk to the students who are of this Z generation, they are called Z generation or the Z generation. Okay, this Z generation, they are always almost tech savvy. We only work on, you can say, technology gadgets. They understand technology faster, and we are proud of it. Example to quote: if you see nowadays a kid of 3 years or 4 years in your neighbor's pond or somewhere, you can see that they can start using mobile at a very fast pace. They can even show you some features which we don't know, which we don't understand. Okay. I have seen kids even at the age of 3 and 4, they start understanding programming logic. Maybe it's drag and drop, it's a scratch type of programming, but still they can do it. Okay. Why is that? Why were we not able to do it then? Okay. But this generation, Z generation, they were born when there were gadgets around them. They were born when they started, the first time thing what they must have taken in their hand was a mobile phone. Okay, so they tried to explore, they tried to go into depth of these things, and they know now how to exploit or how to use it and how to take it forward. So they are the lucky ones. Okay, the people we coming from another generation have to now start adapting to it. Okay? So and we adapt maybe at our own pace because we have already wired some thought process in our brain. It is hardwired. Okay, but these kids, they are still soft computing brain, which actually starts learning with gadgets. Okay, I hope you all understand. When I say hardwiredness, yes, we were taught like this. I want to be like this, and I'm going to be like this. But now this generation, they are into soft computing. They're completely every time learning, like your machine learning, your brain, they're completely learning, they're relearning, reimagining things, and they're into complete recycling also. Okay, so they for everything they add a re to it. Okay, so reimagining, recycling, redefining education, and they are into that particular era. This education aims at making it's like the keywords again here are understanding, rationality, kindness, and honesty. Whenever a teacher comes to the class or whenever we start talking about something, we don't. Some teachers are there, but some when they come to the class, they just have come with one thought. Yes, I have studied this topic. I want to give this to the students. and they start teaching. Okay, they sometimes don't put themselves in the place of the students. Okay. In my class, if I'm now currently taking a session, and there's some student who is sleeping, and I just go and shout at him, why are you sleeping in the class, and what is this? After lunch you are doing? And then he said, no, no, you stand up and give me the answer and all. Okay, I don't take into consideration what he has gone through or why is he doing this. Okay, so some classrooms really lack empathy, they lack the kindness word, okay, and they also lack the understanding. So now the responsibility as facilitators is that when you enter a class, come with a first thought that I'm going to be empathetic towards my students. Because today's environment is more student centric. It is nowhere now teacher centric. And don't keep that ego that I'm a teacher, okay? And what I say, things should go like this. That generation, things are gone. So let's rewire ourselves. Let's redefine ourselves. And let's become facilitators. Let's start doing it from the student centric point of view. Again, when we see various researchers are talking about the role of critical thinking in education rather than teaching, teaching, teaching. Indoctrination means you only keeping teaching and telling them what to do. So stop only giving instructions. Your classroom should not be full of instructions. Your classroom should be engagement, involving the students. It should be more of student participative type of sessions. Any lecturer, so please keep this in mind because I'm addressing, I know all the teaching fraternity and I'm fortunate that I have some students. So after this session, maybe when they become teachers in the near future or when they go to the classroom, they might tell the teachers, no ma'am, the teaching should be like something of this sort, okay? And I'll be happy in getting to know that. So I got some quotes, and these are quotes from the popular Indian philosophers and the educationists who wanted to give the a different perspective. And every that decade, those people spoke about education in a different form. Okay, and now we are going to come to 2020, where I'm going to start. We are going to talk about NEP education. Okay? So I think quickly, if you see. Rabindranath Tagore says the highest education is that which does not merely give us information. It does not merely give information, but makes our life in harmony with all the existence. Okay. So you must be thinking, this word has come so many times. So many people are saying this. So what does this actually mean? Okay. So now starts an important topic because we started with holistic multidisciplinary education. So I've touched upon what is education first, and now going forward, I'll talk about what is holistic, and then we'll move forward to what is multidisciplinary. And again, I said you, again a reminder in between the session that we are going to be the change makers. I want we all today sitting here to be the change makers to implement this new education policy. It's not just for a conference, but today here we are for discussion, maybe after the session, a discussion, open discussion. How can I take it forward for implementing these particular things into my structure? So I have taken a holistic education definition, which is there was given in 2010 by Marshman, and I'm also going to talk about the same, which is given in 2020. Okay. So holistic education here focuses on fullest possible development of the person. Understand the word encouraging individuals. As a facilitator, we need to encourage our students. We should encourage them become the very best or the finest that they can be and enabling them to experience all they can from life and reach their goals. See, education is a part of life. Education is a part of life, okay? And it is a part of your journey. It's not end of something. When I get a degree, when I say I am B.Tech or either they say I am M.Tech or something, it is actually from there some your different journey actually starts. When I say I have become a teacher after this, from there onwards my journey starts. When I say I have completed research and a doctorate, there is a different journey. Okay, and all the paths these education what you're taking in between on your life journey, they give you a different path and they allow you to choose something. They allow you to choose what you feel best at that moment of time. And do I really require to choose between the an option A and option B? Okay, so this is what Marshman has told. And coming to now what NEP defines holistic education, it will be aimed at developing capacities of human beings intellectually, aesthetically, socially, physically, emotionally, and moral in an integrated manner. I hope you're all with me. Too many words. That's called holistic now. And integrating. What are we integrating? We want to integrate intellectual, aesthetics, social, okay, physical. You should be fit, okay. Uh, Emotionally, you should be strong. Yes. Then spiritually, you should be awakened so that you understand what is right and what is wrong. Okay. And you should carry values. The values are the most important part of any education. Educations, like when I say education, and again comparing it with your current example of machine learning, when the child is born, from that day commences the journey of learning. There is a difference between education and learning. Huh? Okay, the day someone is born, from there his journey commences of learning. And you must have seen how the learning actually happens with a child, small baby who is not even able to speak. Okay. In every month, if you see his journey of learning, every moment he picks up with keen observation. He only observes. He has got good visually sensors and auditory sensors are awakened, and because of which he picks up the things around him or her, and they start learning. Oh, if this was told, I need to do this. You ask him, you tell him, the child, this is how a Tata is, or this is how a buy is. Next time, he has registered it. He or she has registered it. So when you tell him next time, oh, how do you say Tata? So he immediately picks up the hand. The child understands. This was taught to me. Okay. So just imagine if we start teaching the right things every moment, then the way you mold that particular generation will change. That will change. Okay. There are two types of cultural, or you can say sanskar, which actually happen with every child. It is one is at family, with family, at home, and one is the professional or during the schooling. Okay, so they actually go hand in hand, but it mostly depends upon how you get an environment, how you learn from that environment, and how do you pick up the right things from the environment, and then you move forward. So, what in NEP, what does holistic and multidisciplinary education tell? We want it to be more student centric. If you read the entire document, it is more student centric. What is student centric? They have the choice. They can make the choice. They can make the choice for the, their path so that their career can be defined. What is the choice? That when he is doing his education, he feels, no, I want to learn music. Okay. And he wants to learn, he is good at mathematics. He's saying, why should I not be able to take mathematics and music? We as facilitators should be able to correlate this. How mathematics and music can go along. I give you 2 minutes again to think over this. When the child wants to say, you will say, no, music is all about arts, it's about only singing, okay? But when I want to relate it with mathematics, yes, can I equate? Yeah, I can see most of you telling, nodding and telling, yes, we can equate. Because these are audio signals, when I say music, they're audio signals, which can be modeled, equation can be written, okay, and you can simulate it, because of which today's instruments you can find around are like they're not more any more age-old traditional instruments, but the instruments are developed with recent technologies and they still give you the same sound, feel of what the traditional ones could give you. Okay, so now see here I am trying to put again. Now our role comes into picture because we should be able to tell the student whatever he is wanting to do, what he is looking. How do you correlate it? Yes, you want to study dance, you want to learn dance. Okay, go forward. Okay, so then along with dance, can I have only a BSc in dance, or should I have some subjects which actually helps him with NEP? They are talking about everything coming together. So if a dance teacher or a dance student wants to learn dance, even in a university where there is a department for medical science, where there is a department for physiotherapy, okay, can they intercorrelate? Can I study dance from the perspective that is it right from the therapy point of view? Am I putting the right what to say pressure when I'm taking some dance steps in the right way so that I don't hurt my knees, I don't hurt my foot. Okay. So when will this happen? When there is a when they go hand in hand, when they sit. Okay. So now again I'm telling you our role. The student will come, you have a huge number of courses. NEP talks about multidisciplinary. So you have huge number of courses in a university. You will not be able to sustain if you're a single course college. We cannot run NEP in a single course college. Okay? We want a college which is more autonomous, which gives you the right to pick and place the things which the student wants. So he has a basket, he wants to pick up things and put it into the basket, and you as the facilitators will tell how this courses should get intercorrelated. So are you getting our role has become so big. So we need to get educated. Can these courses go hand in hand? Earlier days it was yes, the mechanical department, the computer department used to never get along. Okay, and they come from a different school, mechanical, calling them as hard branch. Then you say we are come from computer science, we are from the soft branch, and we are more sophisticated. Gone are those days. Okay. Now, because of multidisciplinary, even a mechanical engineer who studies data science can get a job into the data science, where he can sit and do something on algorithms. Okay, automation in any mechanical or any industrial belt or any conveyor, you need to write programs, and that's the reason they need to have a programming language. So when I say these two, so you are going to in now see after you go back to your colleges and they ask you what did you learn there and what do you want to bring it to our college, because most of you must be have got registered from different colleges and for this particular session. So when you go back, they might ask you, what after the workshop, what do you want to bring to our college? What do you want to do? So how do you want to be the change maker? Okay. So in that cases, you have to start thinking and training the faculty how to be able to correlate with the students' needs. Okay? So the teaching learning has to be linked to lifelong learning, community, okay, and with STEM education. When I say again, holistic individual development takes place in all these skills which are given in the 21st century. I would like to take you to a very, very important framework, okay, which is a collaborative for academic, social, and emotional learning. I believe in lot in social emotional learning, and this is the Castle framework, which I've got it for you. Now, if you see this framework, there are some important character traits which we should refine and which we should see that we can, whether we can start working on them. For example, self-awareness, self-awareness. I'm giving you a time. I'm giving, why I'm repeating is I'm giving you a fraction of seconds so that you can start thinking. Okay. When I use the word self-awareness, something must have come to your mind. So gather your thoughts. Whenever I'm speaking, why am I giving that pause? Or why am I repeating is for the purpose that you start thinking. This is more about critical thinking. Okay. Or we somewhere have lost the process of thinking. When there are two lines, they go, I don't think what has happened in between. Okay? So self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, relationship skills, and responsible decision making. Okay? I should be aware that why am I will not go to very big spiritual this one and all, but to start with small, why am I on this earth first? Okay, it's a big thing to be answered, but that's okay. Let's come further. Let's start with simple things. I should be self-aware that why am I in this college or why am I taking this particular education? Okay, was it by choice? Was it by force? Can the force be converted to choice? Can I find the happiness in what I'm doing? Okay, so self-awareness talks about where I'm sitting. Yes, where are we sitting? We have some sense, right? I am sitting in a conference room, so we know how to behave. We know what we need to do. Okay, there's all self-awareness, right? And there is further to self-awareness. You have self-realization. Okay, so yes, I'm emotionally attached or I'm connected. I'm sensitive to things happening around me. Somebody is fighting, so I become sensitive. I try to listen. I try to interpret. I try to analyze what is right, what is wrong. Do we do this, everyone? Yes, we all do this, right? So, holistically, self-awareness. What am I doing? For students, because there are some student audience also here, and I take it to my class. Why is that Indian parents feel a sense of responsibility that after a child is born, they start saving money and start weaving the dreams around that particular child? They sacrifice everything. Today, most of you, think a minute what all your parents have sacrificed. If they wouldn't have paid your fees, maybe they would have converted into luxury. Whatever your amount of fees, they would have bought a car or they would have taken a foreign trip. But they don't want to do that. Why? They feel a sense of responsibility and they feel like giving it back to you so that your generation changes. Yes or no? Do you agree to me? It's a fact. And we have that sense. We are self-aware. Yes, this is why. But somewhere this gets skipped. Now, I started from the family. Okay, I give you an example of family. So, if in the family there's harmony, like you are all interacting with each other, there is a lot of sharing, caring happening at home. You tell him, you tell your parents, this is why I want to take up this course, and they are convinced, then it's a happy, go cool type of things happening, right? You feel I am listened to and I'm doing fantastic. Okay? And there is a level of understanding with each other. And so, whatever are the whatever points you want to put up, whatever you want to take further, you put them, and with the discussion, deliberations, arguments, everything, whatever, but you come to one decision, conclude, and you take it forward. That's the social, self-awareness. But after see, when I come to this, I am on this earth, I'm telling self-awareness, I need to think about why, what can I do for the society? I cannot stand here when my session is going on. I know none of you will do this. You stand up and start shouting. You won't do that. Why? Because I'm socially aware that what I should be doing, what should I be taking from here. See, you all students, when you took admission, you knew that you wanted to take a BTech degree along with you, right? As teachers, when we go to the class, we always take it a point that yes, I have come with full preparation. I want this class to be a fantastic class. I want my students to appreciate it. I want the students to nod, right? You all wait for that, right? As facilitators and teachers, yeah, somebody says, yes, this is good point. Yes, this is taken. Okay. And you start picking up expressions from the audience to get to know whether what I'm transmitting or what I'm sharing is well accepted. Okay? So there has to be a social awareness. Now, when this you see the self-awareness, social awareness is there, self-management, as I told you, self-management is I should understand like people talk about a lot of time management. Okay, so when I say self management, it is more about how I have decided, what I have decided to do. Okay, how do I go about doing it, and during this whole process, am I hurting somebody? Okay, so that particular thought, that emotion, or that sentiment, sensitivity towards it makes you more, you can manage your own self. Every day I decide, tomorrow I'll wake up early and I'll reach college in time. We all do that, right? But next day again it's the same story. And you feel, every day I'm trying hard and I'm trying to think, why? Is it not happening with me? So, self-management. Now in self-management, what I teach my students in design thinking is empathy. And when you say empathy, from there is where your actually journey starts. People talk about innovation, R&D. They don't start all of a sudden. I will not tell you to identify a problem. I'm telling this very important statement. I'll never tell you identify a problem and start doing research. They are wrong researchers. You should be observing. You should have keen observation. Now we'll tell you what is this. I took this particular case study in my class also. I told the student, you come every day to class, you just note down the activities. Why do you get late? Okay. What do you do? So minute to minute you start writing. I'm addressing this to my students currently. I don't want this to the facilitators. Maybe they can take it. Why? Then you write down activity. Note down. Oh, then I told one student, he told, my problem is I want to come in sports shoe every day and tying a lace gets me into some 2-3 minutes time it takes. He's just talking about 2-3 minutes, huh? But that is getting added to getting late to the class. Okay? So your self-management, it has to start from self. So what are you going to do? Anybody, even for matter of fact, me also. When I want to do management of self, I'll write down the activities. What I do, how I do, and when I do what I do and how I do, can I make a change how I do it? Because that's a problem for me. That's a problem for me. Some of you don't even think it to be a problem. Some of you think this is the way life is. Okay. For example, self-managed, I give a very good example. The senior citizens once asked by some students, we want to do something for you. We want to give back to the society. We want to find something for you which will make your life easy. They said, no, we don't require anything. And you know, grandparents, they say, no, no, we are well to do, we are doing good, we don't require any help from you. But still, the kids of that particular group said, can we spend a day with you? Can we spend a day with you? So they went and stayed with them. And it was maybe 4 hours. Okay. They told we'll only spend 4 hours, not the entire day also with you. So they allowed them. So this student, he saw that the grandmother, she's not able to open the moisturizer bottle lid. It requires some pressure from your thumb. Those kind of moisturizer bottle I'm talking about. Okay. He said, what is this? You're not able to open this? Then she says, no, no, it is like this. It is manufactured like this. So what is the problem in this? I'll have to find out ways to come up with this, right? Maybe I'll break the lid. I'll start using it. So she's thinking, this is not a problem. This is the way that lid is going to be. This is the way it is. And I have to accept it. Do we all do that? We don't question. We say, yes, this is the way it is, and we move forward. But start questioning. Start identifying problems in life. So these students found out a way, gave an alternate solution so that they can start using that moisturizer with what to say properly without any pressure, and then they had a feeling of being at comfort. Just imagine what thoughts go when you start. It's not opening and you're putting a lot of pressure and pressing and doing something, and when it is happening very easily. Okay, I think you're all going through that process to understand. Okay, so what happens is I can do some self-management by understanding where are the problems, by identifying the activities, and these problems are the step for innovation. These are problems which you have identified, which are the steps for innovation. And you see a lot of, because of WhatsApp, there are a lot of innovations which you see day in, day out. Recent one innovation, I don't know if you have seen, a coffee decantation by a girl in Trichy. The coffee decantation, she has put it into a capsule. Coffee decantation, I think everybody is getting. So that coffee decantation is put into capsule, and what you have to do is just take a hot water, dip that capsule into that decantation, a cup of hot water, and it dissolves, and the coffee is ready. Nowadays, you're getting that instant tea coffee also. You must have seen, just make a hot coffee and just put. So from where all this started? Because people, where we'll go find the tea powder, sugar, and then start making coffee or tea, and people want to drink tea, coffee at any time when they want it. So for that, what they did is, they came up with these instant ready-made powders. She has come with a capsule. She's saying, I'm not even burdening the earth. I'm not burdening the mother earth, because that capsule is, what to say, edible. I put it, I take it, there is no waste generated. Okay, so sustainability is also taken into picture. Second, continue to that, one more girl came up with, yes, but you're making a coffee and you're using maybe a paper cup or a plastic cup. We don't want you to do that, because people cannot carry steel glasses everywhere, right? So they come up with a foldable steel glass, which can be carried in a purse, which can be even carried in a pocket. Okay, so how do these ideas come for all of you? It is just by observation. It's just by identifying what is the need, okay, and how you can start taking it and start developing something. So every student in holistic development should understand relationship skills. We are in a society, a larger society, where we come from multicultural, multi-religion. So we should learn to respect each other's experience each other's way of leading life. Okay, so the interpersonal relationship skills are very important in a holistic development. So if you see on the larger periphery, who are involved into all this is the classroom, the schools, families, caregivers, communities. Everybody play a major role into all these parameters which are to be or attributes or a character trait which needs to be developed by each one of us. So a quick slide to tell you what is self-awareness. Understand one's own emotions. I know some of you are still in the class and who are not getting the meaning of this. So when you're sitting in the class, you need to understand what emotions or thoughts are going on in my mind and are they somewhere aligned to the session and are they required for session. See, this is nobody, if you take it to an engineering class, the students will not listen. But it has to be somewhere embedded, integrated in everyday class so that you understand the importance of this. How is my thought process working? Okay. So self-awareness, when I say self-management, manage your goal effectively. You all are want to come into NEP, you want to pick up your own course, you want to do what is of your choice, you don't want to be guided or forced by anybody, your parents or teachers, but you want to be ubiquitous. I want freedom. When I say freedom, do anything. When I say ubiquitous, anywhere, anytime. I don't want to take a class now. I am not in a mood to take class now. I want to take class at home. Then that's MOOCs which has come into picture. Okay, so you will say, no, I'll go and listen to the IIT professor in the evening. I'll take that class. I don't want to sit now in the class. This is this generation. And they have everything at fingertips. They're ready, they're getting everything very easily. Okay, so self-management, social awareness, respect the diverse backgrounds and cultures, relationship skills, maintain healthy and supportive relationship, and responsible decision making, making decisions which are caring, constructive choice, and also very important is your social interaction across the diverse society. Most of you must have, I don't know, as facilitators, as teachers, some of you must have completed this course which AICT is giving called Universal Human Values. If not, I would recommend this course to each one of you. If not, even the students, okay, can take this course. It's called Universal Human Values. Now, I cannot take the, I don't know how many of you have done it, okay, but this is one important course which is given by the AICT and every faculty has to get oriented towards this course. When I say, I just picked up a slide from them. I thought quickly let me just put it to you, across to you, what is required in the holistic development. So if you see in the role of education is personal transformation and societal transformation. What? Why we are doing it. So if you see there is a, yes, you see here, you're moving from the animal consciousness to human consciousness. This is living with human consciousness, human family and society. Okay? We are talking about both family, society. So harmony in family, harmony in society, harmony with nature. When I say harmony with nature, the key word is sustainability. Whenever you're doing something, make it a point that you're not creating any waste which cannot be decomposed on the earth. Okay, that should be our goal. Now, if you see here, how does this human consciousness come? It comes through right understanding. It comes, now when I say right understanding, okay, quickly now as to some here the students, if you tell me, if I say, if your parents are scolding, how many of you do you take it in a right understanding? How many of you think it's okay, and how many of you think it is wrong, they should not be doing it like this? I want you to raise a hand and tell me how many of you feel, yes, even if your parents say something, it is right. What they are saying? Yeah, good, very good. Yes, thank you. And I can see maximum, yes, boys, you can look behind. Those were all girls. Yes, and it was actually the fact that if you see, only the people who raised hands were girls. So I can do a research on this also tomorrow, and let's say why only girls feel that parents are right and why the boys are not even ready to react to this. Can I once again go for this question and let me gather the responses? When your parents scold you, how many of you think it is right? Very few hands. Do you think if you raise a hand, I'm going to question you something? No, I'm not asking you. Okay? But if not raising a hand, that's what I'm telling you. Not raising a hand, that time some experiences has comes to their minds. Where they must have felt what they told was not right. But the students who raise their hand immediately are always in the acceptance mode that what their parents told, today they are feeling, yes, we are blessed and we are fortunate. They told me right decision, I've taken. So the thoughts which cross at that moment when I ask a question is very important. And this we found here, right? So I think here the crowd, what is now involved, is more of forcibly sitting. They are not having choice. Okay, they are not taking choice-based education. Okay, it was a force from parents, and they don't have the liberty to choose their subjects. Okay, so that's my reading which goes here. Okay, uh, when you have harmony with something, how many of you think happiness is related with harmony? How many of you think this? So that I get to know when you understand the meaning of harmony and happiness. When you're in sync with something, see, this is important for holistic development. Huh? When you're in sync with something, you're in your terminology, when you say then there's a wavelength matching, then there is a happiness. Do you agree? When I say happiness, I need to also understand that it comes through right understanding. Maybe I don't have something, so I cannot always be unhappy for it, right? I can find out a way to be happy in a different way. I can take, okay, I'm not, for example, you missed your IIT by few marks, and so today you're at Trinity Education. Okay? And now they are giving me a very big smile. Everybody. Till now you are all, huh? Okay? So now I could see the expressions. Huh? A teacher who teaches for more than 25 years can gather the expression very fast. Okay? Because our sensory organs are so developed that we can start picking up. Before this, when it was parents involvement, you were all very quiet. But now when I came to your missing of IIT, you are saying, yes, I was eligible to get into an IIT, but I missed it. And today I'm here, right? But I'm enjoying engineering. So this is your right understanding. Okay, you're all happy where you are here. And hopefully, you're all taking your classes seriously. Don't take it for the sake of, okay, I'll get my BE degree and I'll finish it, right? So, why is this holistic education important? It is personal transformation and societal transformation is important. Start understanding the difference between a need, necessity, okay, and uh, gathering things, materialistic things. Again, the example quoted in the most of the universal human values class, and I would like to bring it to you people if you have not heard it. In my wardrobe, I have 10 shirts, 10 dresses, the girls will say, our faculty will say, I have so many. but do you require? And do you give it out to somebody? When do you find happiness? When you share something, do you find happiness? And I, as a human being, I tell you, everybody, when you share something, when you give it out, everybody feels happy. Okay? All agree at least now? Yes. Good. So that understanding. Now, am I taking something new? No, we all know this. We are all aware of this. Somewhere we need to reinforce it. I'm just bringing it back to you today. Maybe that was why that is why I come here. We all know this. What is happening in house, what should we do for the society, how should I contribute, what is my end goal, what is my outcome, we all know it. Okay? But somewhere maybe we are not practicing it. We need to reinforce, we need to repeatedly tell you so that we don't get deviated from what we are doing. So moving forward, I have a lot of important things to tell you. Next is the UNESCO learning pillars. Now, UNESCO, as you know, it's United Nations Education, Science and Culture Organization who have laid down the pillars for education, and there are 4 pillars: learning to know, learning to do. Quick water. Whenever I read a sentence, learning to know, learning to do. Very good. I'm happy. Because I'm taking class after many days, So learning to live together and learning to be. As a facilitator, I enjoy the class, but somehow I come into an administrative role where I've missed. But today I'm happy that I have all these audience who are giving me the right expressions and getting involved in the session, what is happening. Okay. So you must have gathered something from these words, right? When I read it, when you were reading it, you thought of it, right? That is human consciousness. Consciousness study is catching up. Okay, we as human beings, we can sense, we can express, we can analyze. I'm comparing with human animals, huh? So I'm telling you, we can speak it out, we can analyze, we can have interpersonal relationship in which we can exchange lot of information. We can learn from each other. Okay, they also do, but you are through words. You are taking education in an institution where animals don't take an education in an institution. There are very countable numbers like dogs who are trained. Okay, so actually these are very helpful for reshaping the education. Learning to know, provide the cognitive tools. Learning to do, provide the skills. Learning to be, provide self-analytical social skills. And learning to live together, expose individuals to the values. Again, what has come is values. The values are very, very important. So to learning to live together, we need to interact with each other as individuals and have values. So, in NEP 2020, the focus in multidisciplinary education and moving off from now holistic. I told you too many things about holistic. So I told you harmony, prosperity, happiness is in all what you do, the current state of your mind and how you do it. Okay, so start observing how am I, what is the state of my mind currently, and what am I doing and what am I thinking. Okay. Now, when I'm taking multidisciplinary, as I told you, in multidisciplinary, the university are going to be major players. Colleges which are autonomous with a variety of subjects are going to be the major players in implementing NEP, okay? Because that's important. A single degree college will have a struggle. Now why? As I told you, what the student will do is, he will get the academic band credit. First year he might learn from you, but next year he will go and change the college. And that's possible because it's student centric. Again, I'm telling NEP is completely student centric. Okay, so we don't want to lose students. If we don't want to lose students, we as an institution need to be aware and understand how to find a way to live harmoniously and give the student what he wants. Can I have music? Can I have the arts courses along with engineering? Can I find a correlation? And that correlation, who does, whoever is going to be able to do it is going to last. So the higher education institutions should have multiple subjects and multiple choices, so that the students can they can have choice-based credit system in place. They can choose the credits also. If I have some foundation courses, like I have a foundation course in Indian Constitution, I have a foundation course in Indian Indic Sciences, I have a foundation course in Ethical Management, okay? And these are some of audit courses. I have a foundation course in what is music, I have a foundation course in what is Bhagavad Gita. So if the student wants to do something, he should be able to pick them up. Okay? So along with the core skills, if he's doing computer engineering, along with the core skills of some credits, dedicated credits, maybe of 140, 20 credits can be open to students of their choice. Okay? Or you can even float minors and majors, and that is what multidisciplinary higher education institutions need to do. That is what is described in the NEP. How do we set up? Merger of single stream institutions with other multidisciplinary institutions under the same management or different managements. You can bring them all together. I also got to know that your campus has got many courses like BBA, you've got courses in BSc, you've got courses in pharmacy. So if engineering, some student is very interested in medical and wants to do something with the medical science, a pharmacy department can come together, they can float a subject. So some students can take those subjects. If they come with biomedical electronics and the students want to do something with biomedical electronics, so the pharmacy department and the engineering department float one of the course. So that's the reason I'm telling you, higher education institutes with multiple courses, multiple degree courses are going to be the beneficiaries, and they can make a big change what we are expecting. Then only this change can happen. Okay? So strengthening the institutions by adding departments such as language, literature, music, philosophy, Indology, dance, theatre, education, mathematics, statistics, everything has to be there here. Okay? So I hope you all understood what is multidisciplinary now. Yes? And see, maybe you have missed the bus. Maybe you are not able to come into the NEP flow. But somewhere you people will be the decision makers or policy makers for your further education when you take your higher studies. But currently you're all concentrating on whether I'll get tea or not. Okay? Yes? Okay, very nice. Thank you. Your convener has told. Dipti madam has told everybody is going to get tea. So please concentrate on the slide and they will preach to you. Okay, don't worry. Huh? Okay, so here we want to see that every stream, what is possibly available as education can be introduced. Okay. Second, very important, I would like to give the NEP talks to the management is, first, very first important thing is to establish an education department. We as engineers, are not taught how to teach. We are not taught how to be facilitators. But we follow somebody. If you get good teachers, you'll follow good teachers. But I will not say any teacher is a bad teacher, but there is a way of teaching. Okay. Somebody walks into the class and starts writing a derivation, and he fills the entire board. Okay, and then starts explaining. And then you feel, till the time the teacher was looking at the board, you were all enjoying. So you have already reached in thoughts into a canteen or having into something very romantic thoughts moving around in that. You will never come back to the class. Okay, but a teacher, when it comes into the class, engages you something into a very good application and then start the class, then your thoughts are connected. Understand connecting the thoughts. Okay? Any class you'll enjoy when you start connecting your thoughts. It is your responsibility. How do you connect these thoughts? Huh? So don't please push it on your teachers or facilitators. So the purpose is education department is the only department where they actually used to educate the teachers by giving a degree called B.Ed or M.Ed, how to teach, what to teach, okay, and we engineering graduates, engineering teachers are not taught. And I was lucky enough, I started my journey in 2016, okay, when with the college which I'm associated, I give all the credit to my institution, which is MIT Academy of Engineering at Alandi. I was the first dean for FIB Tech for autonomy, and I implemented autonomy. So in being an autonomous institution, I got entire liberty to pick up the subjects of our choice and give it to our students. So I have experimented what works and what doesn't work. So now why I have come here is, please learn after this, because we have made mistakes and we are ready to share those mistakes with you, so that you please don't create or again make those mistakes, but build on those mistakes. Okay. Uh, all these various subjects actually all these various subjects which we introduced in autonomy helped us giving a multidisciplinary approach. Every student in our campus was taught materials engineering. Every student in our campus was taught engineering informatics, even if he's a chemical student. Every student in our college was taught a subject called design thinking. Every student learned software prototyping for mechanical, chemical, ENTC, IT, computer, all the branches, civil, including everything. So we took them to every branch. We introduced them what every branch is. Okay, so that's the reason I owe a lot to my institution in my professional career where I grew. I was given a platform and I was the person who could bring about that change. And I'm a proud change maker in the institution. So support the actualization of the teacher education and contribute to multidisciplinary curriculum. So we have to start developing my teaching fraternity fellows who are around, connected with me. I'll tell you one important point, that yes, the first thing what we need to do is change the curriculum structure, change the syllabus, change the way you assess and evaluate students. You fail in an exam, you carry a backlog. This is for you who have backlogs. Some of you don't have. Okay. And you're again made to write a 100 marks paper. Imagine the sad story of it. अभी तो कैसे तुम पढ़ाई करके लिखा था पेपर 100 marks के लिए, and you fail. And again they tell you, again study for 100 marks and start writing the paper. It's very dramatic, isn't it? And I don't believe in that type of evaluation assessment. For some of the subjects, we dropped the theory paper. We have experimented with it. I don't know how many students here know. Do you think a programming language paper should be a 100 marks written paper? No. All teachers, all facilitators here, the management agrees to it that the paper should not be a written paper. Still we take it. And we start finding mistakes in syntax in the theoretical paper, which is really pathetic and which is a sad story of an education. So here we need to start seeing how I evaluate the student. Don't ask them to mug up data sheet. We experimented with it. Again, I'm telling a case study. Embedded system, if I'm teaching an ARM7 controller, I need not tell them to write a program without C. I'll ask them to keep the 500 pages data sheet open. Today's generation needs to know they have so much of huge information. They need to go to the right place, pick up the right information at right time. Give it to them. Why do you want them to mug up things? Why do you want him to learn a control word? about what a high pulse will do and why a low pulse. Give him the data sheet, let him study that and write the program. That is how you should assess the student. Second part of the curriculum, multidisciplinary when you're doing, make it more application oriented. The assessment should be, or the question paper should be application oriented. For my first year student, I'll just take a subject called electrical electronics engineering, but I'll tell you one question which we asked is, the first year student, if you are asked to conceptualize a home automation system, if you're asked to conceptualize a home automation system, what are the blocks you can think of? I don't want you to tell me the exact controller. I don't want you to tell me the exact sensor number or the actuator. But I want you to tell me, yes, these are the three blocks which are required. One is sensor, controller, and actuator. Controller, what program you write, that is your lookout. Which language you want to write, that is your lookout. But the layman, if you go to the industry, he gives a statement. On this conveyor, I need this product. Once it is passed, it should get counted. If the product doesn't follow one code, it should be rejected. Okay, so you need to know that the product has data has to be captured. What way to capture, that is your lookout. Whether you want to put a camera, whether you want to put a RFID reader, whether you want to put a barcode reader, that is your lookout. Okay, but you should understand that I want to pick up the data and then tell, okay, this has got an image which should fit. If the size of this particular block fits into this image, the product is okay, I pass it, certified, otherwise I reject. So such type of questions is the responsibility of the teacher today who are teaching, to see that they need to be evaluated and assessed in this format. So an education department has gone through the process of curriculum building, the structure, the assessment ways, evaluation technologies, techniques which can be used. So it's my humble request to all the management of the teachers to go and please tell the management that let's start experimenting with the teaching pedagogy. In the classroom, see that as a teacher, today I'm addressing the teachers around as a national level conference. I don't want you to only come and talk. Your talking should be just 10 minutes. Your 60 minutes class should have 50 minutes student talking. Students engaged in asking questions. Students engaged in driving that topic forward. Okay, so now it's your responsibility. How do you start molding yourself? How do you start rewiring your brain? That if I go to the class, it's not me to talk. It's my students who should be involved. So your questions should be raised in which the students will start answering them. Okay, so that is the area, and it's visualized in NEP 2020. So those who take it forward in the right way will have the right way of implementing, will have good outcome of the students also. So I think I'm in the right time. So this is a very, very important code with which I want to leave and take forward the journey. This is not the end here with all of you. I've got connected. Now each one of you know me. Okay, so let the change begin from us. And let's all aspire to leave the place better than we found it. Very important. See, all the resources are getting depleted. All the resources are getting depleted. Your next generation might have a crunch of water resources. We'll have too much of plastic on earth, too much of pollution on earth. Everything is so polluted. But if you can make a small change, and telling a small change, even if you stay somewhere and you leave that place, you plant a tree in this college, and after 10 years you come back and tell, oh, this was the tree which I planted. Okay, that is the way you got a change. Small change, I'm not telling you big. Everybody should not do a social work or start an NGO. Not required. Okay, but any small change. So leave the place better than you found it. So with these words, I think I was able to give you something, and I'm leaving this place better than I found it in your thought process. I've given you some self-realizations, some self-awareness, which you're going to take it home and which you're going to take it to your classrooms, you're going to take it to your curriculum, okay, and be holistically developed audience, including me. Okay, so thank you all. Thank you for a patient listening. And I would like to thank the management here for giving me this chance so that I could reach out to everybody, put out my thoughts, pour them so that I can reach and give it to my multiple people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful session and making it more interactive.
I would like to put the questions if there are any.
Yes, if the participants are having any questions, you may ask your questions.
This shows that you are more understood.
Next, we are having Mr. Shivananda Balgi, sir, who is General Manager at the Supreme Industries Limited.
I'll be giving everybody 10 minutes break. Yeah, give me 10 minutes. I'll just use the restroom also.
Okay. We'll continue after 10 minutes. Students are requested to stay over here only. Don't leave seminar hall.
Sir.
Students, please don't leave seminar hall. Now we are having with us Mr. Shivananda Balgi, sir, who is General Manager at the Supreme Industries Limited. He will be delivering a session on role of entrepreneurship, incubation and startup in NEP 2020. Mr. Shivananda Balki sir is having 26 years of experience working in multidisciplinary functions in the areas of program management, operations, supplier management, new product development and business development. He has managed various roles with increasing leadership responsibilities and complexities, working across some of the world-class companies. He is effective communicator with good relationship management. May I now request Mr. Shivanand Balgi sir to please start the session. I request Shivanand sir to please start the session.
Yeah, so I'm mostly used to using the column line because I can promise you, boring nahi hoga. You guys will enjoy it. Okay, you can call your friends also. उनको बोलो कि तकिया भी लेके आ सकते. So I'll start. As we progress, people will join. So I'm going to make a small request. See, some sessions that happen are the ground reality. NEP is a education policy. The education policy, Prabha Madam ने जब explain किया, she tried her level best to make it so interactive. But as such, education policy अब वो कितने पेज का था, मैं आधा पढ़ते पढ़ते मैंने छोड़ दिया. But then I started going through the crux of each page, and then I was able to understand it's such a powerful thing that the government is trying to achieve. हम लोग जो पढ़ाई किया ठीक है, but next generation, when they are going to benefit out of it, it will be an amazing. We already say कि हमारे से next generation हमारे से smart है. So you guys will also be proud to say कि अरे हमारा next generation is so smart. So somewhere this education policy is going to make the difference. So let's try and make an attempt to understand whatever is possible. I am coming from the industry because industry also needs good people. Okay, कल का future better होगा, पर आज का भी future अच्छा बना, right? So before I move on, I am going to request you just to recharge yourself. Okay, everybody, I think if you can keep your mobiles on the side, just take your hand and rub your hand. Okay, you all rub your hand. Okay. Now you can keep it on the side and take a deep breath. You can keep your eyes open. You can keep your eyes closed. Whatever. Jitna bada, take a deep breath inside and just both hands ke saath release it. Okay, you can try it again. Take a deep breath and do. Okay. So मैं क्या try कर रहा हूँ? I was trying to get everybody woken up. Okay. So when you deep breathe, you take in a lot of energy. When you breathe out, all that unwanted, आधा सोया हुआ, आधा थका हुआ जो है वो बाहर निकाल दो. So, yeah. So this is me, Shivanand Balgi, giving a small brief. I come with around 29 years of experience in multiple functions. I am currently handling one client and business. I was in program management. Hello. और भी पढ़ो. So, giving a brief of myself, I said I come with a lot of experience, manage various leadership responsibilities, and worked across world-class companies like Tata Group and Stanford. Now, ये experience हर एक जो आता है सबसे पहले experience बताता है, right? Everybody tries experience. Now, experience is something very interesting. Okay, experience is not just work experience. Anything you do, you traveled here today, you met me, is an experience. So I want to share a small incident about experience, how experience can be of so different type. A very humorous experience that happened in my life. In 2008 or something, I went to Japan. So when I went to Japan, I was a little afraid कि मैं बात कैसे करूँगा, communicate कैसे करूँगा. My boss said that there is Japanese colleague who knows little bit of English. You will be able to manage and communicate with him. So I went there, and as a courtesy, in the evening they offered me dinner. So dinner, शाम को dinner खाते वक्त plate में, you know, typically we are from India, even from as a Maharashtrian, we will say we मतलब तिखट म्हणजे एकदम we enjoy a lot. And when you go abroad, they cannot eat so spicy. Probably Mexicans they eat spicy or Spanish, but the rest of the countries spice, maybe Southeast Asia. So I went there. I knew that the food is going to be bland. Tikkat खूप कमी असेल. Then I said the plate came. There was, you have heard of this word sushi? What is sushi basically? It's a fish. It's a kind of raw fish which is served with rice and all that. They gave some noodles and all that stuff. A plate like this. And I was like, thank you. And okay, I mean, everything when you go abroad is expensive. So maybe it was not that tasty or something. I finished it. The moment I finished it off, I know वो दो लोग जापानीज में कुछ बात किया एंड अचानक दो प्लेट लेके आके वापस मेरे सामने रख दिया. I said इतना मुश्किल से मैंने ये खत्म किया अभी वापस कोई. So I was like, I was feeling embarrassed. I didn't know what to say. So see, as Indians, we don't like to leave the plate empty. Okay, and especially when you are with the guest and all, उसको कुछ अजीब लगेगा. तो कैसे भी करके जो बचा था वो भी मैंने दबा के अंदर डाल दिया. So I finished it off. फिर वो कुछ वापस आके प्लेट लेके आए. It was like, भगवान, what is happening? And I somehow managed to communicate this gentleman in saying that I am like full, I am not able to eat. So he said, sir, but you are finishing your plate. So what in Japanese, if you finish your plate means that you are still hungry. See how the experience changes. Okay, so they were thinking that I'm eating and finishing my plate because I was still hungry. And I was feeling that if I give the plate empty, then they will feel bad. So I said, no, in our country, this is how the culture is. Then he said, let me know, and then we manage. So the importance of experience. Today, most of you sitting here are in third year, fourth year, and professors. Okay, we are all experienced then because 12th standard pass out. तो हम लोगों ने अभी लगता है यार वो 12th स्टैंडर्ड में ये किया होता वो किया होता ये इजी था एक्सपीरियंस आ गया. Okay, so as we grow we become when we become experienced we become more powerful. We realize the right and wrong. So experience is what. So I'm glad that I have been invited today to with my experience to share some knowledge. Okay, and I want to give a small brief about my company. So Supreme Industries is a company which is having around 7,500 crore turnover. It's a very big company which has got 26 plants in India. Okay, north, south, east, west, we are everywhere. And we are basically specializing in plastic. You know, plastic, matlab, the next slide will talk more about the plastics. But plastics can be as simple as basic bucket and mug, and it can be a hardware. Today, you know, there is the plastic heart has been replaced for people whose hearts have completely worn. Valves have been replaced. The plastic technology is also going immense. We also say ban plastic, ban plastic. Actually, ban plastic. You know that if plastic was not there, hundreds of forests would have been cut because from forest we make paper. So luckily, plastics was there, bags were reduced, but we don't use plastic responsibly. हम लोग खाते पीते और फेंक देते. वो जाके चोको होता है. That's why ban plastic came into. So that's why Supreme is in plastics. We have 26 plants. We also manufacture one type of plastic raw material which is used in refrigerators, which is used in washing machines and all that. Because everything that we see plastics is used very widely. So this is one of the companies which is into the plastic business. So, business verticals of Supreme, we have the plastic piping division, we have consumer products division, we are in the furniture. In fact, you see this furniture that is on the table. This is one of the most popular brands of Supreme. Even you go to the presidential palace, and even if you go to your our क्या बोलते हैं जहाँ पे ये होता है मीटिंग अपना संविधान इसका क्या बोलते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का उनके ऑफिसेस में जो अपने पार्लियामेंट उसमें भी ये ऑफिस चेयर्स one of the most powerful chairs. It's been going on from last 35 years. So it has made a brand, you know, very comfortable chair, and it is used widely, even in our office. So this is what you see here. We are into packaging products. Okay, now you see your lays and all these chips and everything that you see. That's all plastics. So that also comes from one of that comes from. Then there is industrial products, as I showed you, washing machines, panels, refrigerators, automotive parts, and pallets, material handling, everything is plastics. The other very unique product which most of you may not know, that is LPG cylinders in plastics. Or typical I mean, I will use little bit of Marathi in the I kadi mante. अरे बेटा ते बाहेर ह्याच्या दरवाजा cylinder आणलाय घेऊन because it is very heavy, and then two people have to lift it, or it is something different. So Supreme did a lot of innovation and have brought the weight is exactly half. It was exported for 5-6 years. Now it is in production for domestic this thing because the government took some time to give approval. So around 3 lakh cylinders are there. They are focusing on northeast and hilly areas because in metros we have pipe gas. Okay, so that's the business vertical of complete business of Supreme. Luckily, I've been given 1 hour, so मैं आराम से बात कर सकता हूँ. Okay, so the topic that was given to me was something very interesting. आजकल शार्क टैंक करके सुना होगा सीरियल आता है. हाँ, सब लोग बोल रहे हैं yes sir. So मैं am connected. Good. So the agenda that we are talking introduction, entrepreneurship, incubation, startup culture, national education policy, guidance from the industry. This is what we will be talking about. Before we talk about all this, one thing which goes in our foundation, we have a very strong Sanskrit culture. Sanskrit already gave guidelines for how we have to study, how we have to work. So I will, this is something very, very detailed to speak, but in simple words, it has been converted in English. Knowledge is humility. From humility, what is humility? Okay. Basically, what we are telling is, we are accommodative. मैं perfect होगा तो सामने वाला maybe perfect नहीं है. But I will say, okay, let's together make it happen. Let's accommodate each other. Okay, कभी तू सही होगा, कभी मैं सही होगा, but let's have that humility to take things forward. So knowledge gives humility. From humility one attains character. Character का हमारा मराठी में क्या एक अच्छा मेरे को शब्द मिला है लय भारी. हाँ, अरे तो माणूस एकदम लय भारी है काय. हाँ, so character is strong. म्हणजे त्याला म्हणजे he is able to understand what is right and wrong. He will not do mistake. Okay, even if in bad condition, he will take the correct decision. That is the character. From character, one acquires wealth. From wealth, one acquires good deed, and then follows happiness. Is it true or not? Simple. Ekdam saral. So before I move further, I want to share a small video. The topic says about dare to dream. This is about, we are all, most of us are engineers. The topic is about an engineering student. It is, all of you would have probably seen this scene. engineering जब वो शब्द है, it can be engineer, it can be doctor, or it can be something what you like. Okay, some profession you are doing, but it is a little bit correlated with what topic we are going to talk about. So I thought it is, it is something we are all able to reflect it in one way or another. Can you run the video, please? Escape the one.
लेकिन सीखने को बहुत कुछ मिलेगा। 5 साल बाद जब अपने दोस्तों को गाड़ी खरीद के अपना घर बनाना देखोगे तो हंसेंगे लोग, कहेंगे कि फाइल नहीं बना के छोड़ दिया। ओके डॉक्टर तो कह रहे कि खुशकिस्मत हो के तुम्हारा बेटा आईसीयू में पड़ता है। वो क्या सोचेगी? कब जाकर मेरे घर में इसलिए लगा है। जरा तो सुनकर वो तो कभी नहीं सोचा। अपने कंधे पर बैठकर कब सब कुछ जरूर करने के लिए।
Nice, ना? दुखती रस पे हाथ रख दिया क्या? So that is reality. Sometimes we all want to do something, but we are sometimes due to whatever situation, due to peer pressure, family pressures, और पूरे 10 कलीग्स बोलते हैं सबको इंजीनियरिंग जाना है या सबको मेडिकल जाना है, तो हमने भी वही कर लिया. Okay, everybody is able to correlate it in some way at the student level, at the professor's level. Okay, but okay, now I want to ask, what is this trying to tell us? So no, let's make it little interactive. ये सर ने ये वीडियो क्यों सिलेक्ट किया? क्या होगा? What am I trying to tell? Keep the previous slide. हाँ, ये मत बोलो इंजीनियर नहीं बनना चाहता. So on the top, anybody wants to say? So let's guess. Let's keep it more lively. What is that video trying to say? Anything. Let's take a guess. Anybody would like to share anything? What is the video trying to say? There is okay, probably long day for all of us. There is one word sentence here, dad to be. Correct or not? Okay. The topic that I have today, it's about entrepreneurship. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, okay, you have to dare to dream. अंदर वो जुनून आना चाहिए कि मैं करूँगा. We'll talk about entrepreneurship, but सबसे पहले वो spark कहाँ है तुम्हारे में? हाँ, कुछ करना चाहते हो या ठीक है यार, आ गया ये 4 साल पढ़ के कैसे भी खत्म करके जाओ. आगे क्या? Okay, so we'll talk about it. Next slide. Okay, sorry. So, talking is what is entrepreneurship? इतना difficult लंबा शब्द है ना, entrepreneurship. We speak in sometimes we in our regular English we say entrepreneur. Okay, that is a French word. So basically, it is a combination of everything that you see on your screen. It is creation of ideas. It is networking. Value creation for masses. There is something that you will be able to give value. जब तक तुम कुछ society या कुछ दे नहीं पाओगे, that will not have a linkage. And main thing, what is passion to turn to profitable business. So if I now correlate this with the previous video, that boy wanted to become a photographer. Okay, from photographer, can he not make his own business? Okay, it is entrepreneurship in a small way. Probably he would open a photo studio. He would be one of the world famous photographer. So that is, small things. So this is entrepreneurship. So just to give you a brief, okay, we will talk about how the government and the NEP policy is also trying to support us. But first is, I'll ask a simple question. From the main highway, यहाँ से अंदर आते हैं, up to your college, you see these shops, you see people having some cement related furniture shops, okay, then kirana wala. Aren't these all entrepreneurs? उन्होंने भी गट्स लिया ना कि मैं यहाँ पे इतने दूर ये क्या बोलते हैं घाट के पास अपना ये डाल के धंधा करके मैं कुछ करूंगा. So look at their courage. Okay. So this is something what the government and the industry is trying to tell you is this plethora of opportunity. Plethora मतलब बहुत, India is so big country, a lot of opportunity that you can really start something on your own. 3 or 4 of you come together, or among your seniors, juniors come together, try to do something, make a change for this thing. There's a whole lot of opportunity in India. So what you have to think of is becoming an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is someone who has an idea, who works to create a product or service, and that people will buy. Important. मैं कुछ ऐसा बनाया जिसका लाखों रुपया है, कोई खरीदेगा नहीं. Okay, as well as organization to support. So now comes the very small. Entrepreneur is the one who takes most of the risk. Risk लेने की वो क्षमता है, and is often seen as a visionary and an innovator. So how is this entrepreneurship? I put this small one sentence here. When we were in 1960s, probably your parents' age, or your some elder brothers, or even some 10 years back, entrepreneurship was not something very easy. Okay, so most of it was like the daring businessman. It will come. Dhirubhai Ambani ने क्या किया था? आपको सबको पता है. Typewriter बेच के शेयर खरीदा था, right? And from there, small sum of money that he made, and then he grew. So he had that daring to do that. So in early days, it was not very easy. बहुत ही गट्स चाहिए था कि बिजनेसमैन फैमिली वाले बोलते थे सही है ना, तो कैसे करेगा, तो खिलाएगा कैसे फैमिली को, हाउ विल यू मैनेज इट. So people used to be very daring. Or the other opportunity is father is doing something, next level is there, okay, easy, you don't worry, I'm there for you, then paisa kamaega. So that was the 60s to 80s kind of thing. In 90s things started changing, maybe late 90s as well, and the word entrepreneurship started coming. Somewhere, don't you think ये सब related है startup? Startup is also entrepreneurship, right? So what is different about startup? Maybe entrepreneurship है. So somewhere, how it is explained here is the entrepreneur earlier, the person who had a product and a complete business proposal in mind. उसको पता होना चाहिए था end to end कि क्या करना है, कैसे मैनेज करें. He had to arrange 20-30% capital. मतलब उतना पैसा इकट्ठा करना, पहले तो लाखों का करोड़ों का बिजनेस करना है, और उसका 30% कैपिटल आएगा कैसे? How will you manage it? And at the same time, he has to have a people to run the business. वो सैलरी कहाँ से लाएगा? उतने लोग कहाँ से लाएगा? It was it is a Herculean task that time. And suppose तुमने ये दो manage कर लिया, then you have to go and borrow the 70% from the bank. And when you go to the bank, bank वाला बोलेगा तो मेरे को तेरे से भरोसा ही नहीं है. How are you going to manage? So it was so difficult, and people had to really break and have that guts to do it. And look at now, things have changed so much better for all of us. The entrepreneur now, that is a startup person who has a product and innovative idea and strong business plan. This is basic foundation. Capital only 10% he can arrange. And with a small leadership team, एक 3-4 लोग मिलकर भी स्टार्टअप बनाते हैं. आज लकीली हमारे लिए कौन है? एंजल इन्वेस्टर्स. We have crowd funding. We have banks. Crowdfunding actually हमारा पहले से ही था ना, वो कैंटीन के बाद में खाना खाने के जाने लगे तो हम लोग बोलते 25-25 रुपए निकालो कैरेक्टर में. So it was done in different form. Now it is done in a professional way at the business level. Nothing like it. So investments, complete startup ecosystem available. We'll talk about it in the coming slide. तो जिसको भी बोलो अभी अभी जैसे शार्क टैंक का नाम लिया तो सबने मुंडी हिलानी चालू की. Everybody knows that there is something more than what you can do earlier. We can do something on our own. Okay. Make in India initiative. Government is telling do something on your own, start up something. Look at the way India is growing. The whole world is suffering. India is still consistent. We are very stable on our economy. Why? We took some right action some 6 to 8 years back. And that's why we are in a very this thing. Tough decisions लेना पड़ता है, तब जाके आगे जाके सब सही होता है. So Make in India initiative. So what end of it comes is he or she can be just be a pass out, but with a strong conviction. Okay. कुछ करने की वो कर गुजरने की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है. You know that has to be there. You guys have amazing energy, guys. You can really do it. I'll tell you. You come together when you go talk about your studies. Okay, see how you are going to put things in success. Okay, we'll talk about it in the next slide. Something more related to beyond your studies because anyway, I'll explain about it. So we talked about startup. So you startup का नाम सुना होगा तो incubation भी सुना होगा आप लोगों ने? नहीं सुना? Okay. Incubation word शायद biology में सुना होगा. I don't know, maybe till 10th standard. What is basically जेव्हा one mother in her stomach mom, she keeps a child for 9 months and makes sure that the child is growing healthily. एक ते झाडात काय म्हणतात पक्ष ते अंडी घालून मग ते हे करतात आणि they wait for the young one to become strong and healthy before they fly off. So that is incubation. So making a environment. अभी मैं बोलता हूँ मैं पास आउट हो गया और मैं बोलता हूँ मेरे पास 10 आइडिया है. Can I really make the business work? I need some kind of an environment to make it successful. So what is required is nurturing. Nurturing is basically understanding, learning, becoming stronger. जो चालू किया. Nurturing ideas and realizing, making it to practical. मैंने एक प्रोटोटाइप बनाया, मैं बोलूँगा कि मैं ऐसा एक मशीन बनाऊँगा, which will do cost saving or it will be very cheap. I don't know. Sometime related to solar also. We'll talk about compact like a solar mobile charger. मैं ऐसे I'm just guessing it out. I want to make a compact solar mobile charger. पर उसका सोलर का टेक्नोलॉजी, वो प्लास्टिक का टेक्नोलॉजी, वो इलेक्ट्रिक कन्वर्जन टेक्नोलॉजी, वो पता चला कि मोबाइल चार्जर बना दिया. कॉस्ट कितना? 2,500 रुपया. Or maybe this thing. When we are getting mobile chargers for as low as 600, 800 rupees, why would some invest in a big mobile charger? Carry करने को भी नहीं होता है. So practicality. So all this will come into picture when you talk about incubation. Support in the project, going through funding and other avenues. तुम्हारा ideas जो है कोई किसी को पसंद नहीं आना चाहिए, तब जाके वो पैसा देगा. Independence. Build it to a level. मैंने इतना ज्यादा लोन लिया और ये किया, बाद में वो जिसने भी पैसा डाला वो बोलेगा मेरे को 3 साल में मेरा पैसा वापस दो. So you should be able to think about when you are talking about entrepreneurship startup, you should remember कि पैसा वापस भी देना है. उसने फ्री में दिया नहीं. So how are you going to make it successful? And finally, if you have all this, you have successfully incubated a startup. So I tried to put it in a very brief way. कि startup क्या है और incubation क्या है. Okay, as you go deep, as you read the internet and all, use this thing. But it is an amazing field, and I will tell you, most of you, if you really work, थोड़ा extra hard work करोगे, you will be a successful startup and entrepreneurs. So just to give you that particular perspective. So what Indian government is doing, India has always been the land of innovators and entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship, incubation, startup are the key unlocking. Just to give you that, India, if you, there is a, so you can just do www.startup.com or some India startup. There is a website for Indian government to help support people. उसमें इतने सारा links है कि मेरे को startup करना है तो मैं क्या क्या कर सकता हूँ. Okay, Innovation Week, Azadi Ka Amrit. So these are all interlinked national startup day. So if your idea is good and someone is really liking it, they are ready to invest in your idea also. No, I started talking more about entrepreneurship. Now, where is NEP coming to this picture here? So national education policy they realize उनको पता चला कि ये जो हमारे world education system है उसमें entrepreneurship के लिए उतना avenues और opportunities नहीं है. There are not so many of them. So they realized that need to be encouraged in entrepreneurship. We need to propagate. People should know what the entrepreneurship is. People need to have that confidence. They need to know how to go forward. इसमें आगे कुछ करना है तो करे कैसे? इतना ज्यादा सुनते हैं तो कई गलती से शार्क टैंक देख लिया. डू यू थिंक शार्क टैंक इज ओनली method or this thing? There are multiple opportunities like Shark Tank which are there. Some are online, some are through websites where you can approach. There is incubation center in NECL where they are the people who have a right kind of product and this thing. Maharashtra government is also funding. तुम लो जगह बैठो और make your project successful. So NEP recognizes the need to foster an ecosystem, creativity and risk-taking. NEP supports the objective of converting ideas into reality. So in that complete NEP system, they have gone and gone into detail on this. But how to make it successful? So the way forward here that NEP realized and people from the industry and government realized is basically education, entrepreneurship, education promoted and integrated at all levels. I am not sure how it is in this institution, but for example, BITS or some reputed institutions, they ask industry people to come. They ask teams, they form competitions among themselves. कि आपका कुछ idea है, bring it forward. We will have guiding people who can take it forward. Even pass outs, if you are really well focused with good idea in mind, there is industry and government and various crowdfunding people. They say, अच्छा ये इधर से pass out है, इसका ये idea है. The angel investor को बता के रखते हैं कि you come and review their projects. So what better the government is doing or the national education policy is doing? So education, entrepreneurship, education, incubation centers. Establish incubation center in education institute. Yeah, it is basically like two sides of the coin. अगर entrepreneurship किया तो incubation center it basically guidance, research part. Now, in one of the earlier presentations, there was this topic about research. In India, we do very less research, and because we do very less research, we don't have so many innovative products. We don't have innovative businesses. So, research park, building research parks will promote idea creation, research and development. So, this is something MIT हमारा इंडिया है, one of the most reputed US का भी MIT है, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Their funding lab, the lab is so huge, and they spend like crores and crores of rupees for people to experiment. Fail हुआ कोई problem नहीं है, move, try, keep doing it. So this requires funding. It can be from government, it can be from institution, but generally जो investor रहता है वो he will not unless you have a successful product he will not invest unless he is a philanthropist. बोलता है कि go ahead, तुम मैं पैसा देता हूँ तुम ट्रायल करते जाओ. So how industry can support. Finally, we are coming down as an industry person. How industry can support uh, the education institute, how we can support the lecturers, how we can support new students. So exposing students to what is latest in technology. So when I was in my engineering, we that time that मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग में जो ये रहता था लैब मशीनिंग का लैब रहता था वो पुराना जमाने का एक लेथ रहता था so where you have to manually do everything and you have to do the turning and all that was available mechanical lab में one of the exercises now they talk about CNC they also talk about AI मतलब वो स्टील कटिंग करते वक्त अगर वो सेंसर को पता चला कि ये स्टील जल्दी कटता है तो उस हिसाब से वो जाके कटर चेंज करके दूसरा कटर लाके कट करता है क्या काम जल्दी होना है so that kind of technology has been coming okay in every field the technology has gone so much हम लोग पास आउट होने तक पता चला इनफैक्ट we in one of our lectures it was there that what you learned and by the time you came out वो फर्स्ट ईयर में जो पढ़ा था या सेकेंड ईयर में वो प्रोग्राम सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोग्रामिंग का जो था वो अभी ऑब्सोलीट हो रहा है so we need to completely evolve and since the industry is there to be working with the latest सबसे ज्यादा so exposing students to industry and technology industry has this okay it is not possible for every college to keep the latest machine or latest software it is very expensive so how you associate yourself with the industry you are getting exposed to something which is the latest so about integrating future ready programs into mainstream education so one of the things in the first lecture, the gentleman was talking about AI ML. So anything you touch today is basically, in fact, we 24/7 शायद वो 5-6 घंटा या 8 घंटा सोने के छोड़ के हम लोग we are all continuously live on with related to everything to do with computer that your this mobile is tracking everything you do what time you sleep where you go किसका फोटो खींचा तुम्हारा ये क्या है कुछ ये किया तो immediately तुमको उसका advertisement आ जाता है okay so the technology has changed so much that we need to make the students one step ahead of the technology right so that is something which is a big challenge for this. So industry can be a good support to all of you. Make everyone realize that the industry works on foundation, cost and quality. This is something which is not, we generally, I will say this is my experience as well. When I passed out, I associate myself with lot with automobile. जो पास आउट होने के टाइम पे हमारा एक विजन के साथ आते हैं द फैक्ट्री द मैनेजमेंट आई थिंक आई नो मोस्ट ऑफ यू एटलीस्ट हाफ ऑफ यू विल बिकम लेट मी जस्ट ब्रेक द मोनोटनी इसमें जितने क्राउड है स्टूडेंट्स में स्टूडेंट्स में हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू वांट टू बिकम एंटरप्रेन्योर यू कैन लिफ्ट द हैंड्स 1 2 3 4 अरे उठो 5 6 okay okay how many want to do job अच्छा बाकी सब लोग पैसे वाले no yeah business okay the business is under part of entrepreneurship right okay sorry बोलो जोर से बोलो it's okay this is a very interactive session there's nothing to be listening so when you join, when you pass out of your engineering college, then आपको क्या लोगो मिलता है इंडस्ट्री में फ्रेशर हाँ ये फ्रेशर है और इसको कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है फ्रेशर है तो एक्सपीरियंस होगा ही नहीं ना बट स्टिल इंडस्ट्री इज टेलिंग फ्रेशर है एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है they want the fresher also to come with experience is that possible so what they say is foundation of cost, quality and delivery. वो बोलता है कि प्रेशर है तो इसका काम इतना दो कि उसका उसको जो यहाँ पे सीखने को मिलता है वो चूस के निकालो उसको पूरा उसको जो ये दे रहे हैं कि how much we are giving him the stipend or giving him initial. So the industry reality is very difficult. Please understand. एक बार तुम लोग बाहर गए ना, once we go out of college, then वो ground reality है, the aeroplane lands and then you realize that the tarmac or that airport का रन पे तो दूर से एकदम smooth दिखता है ना, उस पे land होने का बहुत high होता है. So the ground reality is everybody talks about इसके ऊपर कितना खर्चा हो रहा है. Everybody talks that ये जो कर रहा है काम सही कर रहा है कि नहीं, ये इसको किया हुआ काम टाइम पे कंप्लीट कर रहा है कि नहीं. So be careful, ladies and gentlemen. The industry is very tough, and it is not. People are not doing deliberately because they have to survive in the industry. अगर मैंने उतना, you know, all of us, एक टाइम पे हमारे पास नोकिया फोन हुआ करता था. है क्या नोकिया? Probably maybe only one person will have Nokia phone now. Everybody is having Samsung and Chinese phone. Why? Probably जिसने smartly act किया, जो अपना cost save किया, नया innovation लाया, they survive. So this is the dog world. Okay, so bring in versatility, good communication skills, and relationship management. Now, this is something ma'am was telling in her previous this thing presentation that पूरा अच्छा education है, but you don't know how to talk with your superior, you don't know how to talk to your colleague. Okay, हर काम हमारे हाथ से सही होने वाला है? नहीं होने वाला है. कुछ गलती होगा, कहीं बहुत अच्छा करेंगे, but if you're done good, you're not able to present it properly, still it is a failure. If you done bad, गाली खाने का सिर्फ टाइम आ गया और सामने वाला गर्म है तो बोला सॉरी सर, नेक्स्ट टाइम में इम्प्रूव करेंगे. This communication or not. So if you don't have that skill, all this education is not going to take you further. So versatile रहना ही पड़ेगा, multitasking रहना ही पड़ेगा. You need to be ready to take something more than what you are able to do. Generally कंपनी में जाके बोला जाता है मैं ये कर सकता हूँ, और क्या कर सकता है? What else can you do? अगर वो दो चीज कर सकता है यानी उसमें क्षमता है ग्रो होने के लिए, सीखने में क्षमता है. That's how we are evaluated in the industry. So versatility, good communication and relationship management. अगर एक बनिया के दुकान पे एक बंदा आया और उसने कुछ ऐसा आइटम मांगा कि ये वाला चिप्स है क्या, और if he tells the same thing in a polite way, sorry sir मैं ये रखता नहीं हूँ, शायद मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम रखूंगा, तो नेक्स्ट टाइम वो कस्टमर आएगा ना. हाँ, शायद उसको पता है कि नहीं भी हो सकता है, फिर उसने नहीं जाओ, तो नेक्स्ट टाइम यू विल थिंक दैट ये गलती से इधर मुंह भी नहीं मोड़ेगा. हाँ, procurement management. So relationship management, these are the things which we don't teach in our I mean maybe it is taught in somewhere or other, but ये यहाँ पे आना चाहिए. It is all in our interactions that we have to learn. The industry teaches you in the hard way. Better to learn it faster. Taking time out. So how industry is able to support us, like people like me or people this thing, we take time out and giving lectures in college. So how industry is shaping up. अभी interesting मैं अपने company का बताता हूँ. So when we started a few years back, we were at some particular X turnover. तो हमने 2-3 साल में बहुत मेहनत किया, बहुत कंपनी में इम्प्रूवमेंट किया, स्ट्रीमलाइन किया बिजनेस, और हमने 2 साल में हमारा टर्नओवर डबल किया. तो मैंने टर्नओवर डबल किया तो मैं तो खुश था कि मेरा ये हो रहा है. तो मेरा कॉम्पिटिटर चुप था क्या, उसने 4 नया मशीन लाके लगा दिया जो वो स्पीड पे दे सकता है. तो मैंने सोचा कि आई एम कॉम्पिटिटिव, आई एम वेरी गुड, माय कॉस्ट इज गुड. उसने सो बाय द टाइम वी हैव रेडी देयर इज समवन हु इज इवन बिकमिंग फास्टर देन यू. So please understand that how industry is shaping up is very important. Again, it is related to your education. Again, it is related to what we are teaching our students. Another way how industry has been supporting this is happening because I have been part of this thing. If you are becoming basically जो pass out रहता है या initially 4-5 साल का experience रहता है, एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में आपको स्टार्टिंग में बताया, इट इज द ओनली वे इज द हार्ड वे। ओके, एक बार वो बिल्ली ने गर्म दूध में जीप डाला और जीप जल गया तो सोचो को पिक्स पे पीती है, दिस इज नो बाय एवरीबॉडी, इट इज दैट जस्ट दैट द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट। सो when you take experiences then you become this thing, but can you wait कि मैं 5 साल का 6 साल का एक्सपीरियंस करूंगा और फिर स्टार्टअप करूंगा, पर मेरा ना आइडिया तब तक कोई छोड़ के चोरी करके लेके जाएगा। So I don't have time. I have to work innovative way. Then I can what I have to do. I ask a mentor. आप industry है ऐसे है, can you support me? I might do something wrong. What is incubation? What is mentorship? These are all interlinked in startup. So the industry can support you basically in that way. Interesting subject. Not the right time though. It is little bit exhaustive. Anyway, I am ending on my presentation. So what are we here to do today? NEP policy, industry experts, professors, all trying to teach. We know that you guys are amazing people. आप लोगों को सही guidance और सही support मिला. You guys can make wonders. So we are all here to make you guys successful. Dhirubhai Ambani, give the youth the proper environment, motivate them, extend them the support they need. Each of one has infinite source of energy. They will deliver. वो करेंगे. You guys will do it or not? Yes. Yes. Okay, keep up the spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. After the lunch, we had such a fun going session, and thanks a lot. Like I can see all the students happily awake. We can say awake, right? From on behalf of Trinity Academy, sir, we thank you for such a wonderful session, and we conclude the program for the day. Let's meet tomorrow. Tomorrow again we have morning sessions and afternoon sessions. Tomorrow would be the last day, and henceforth in the afternoon we even have valedictory function wherein the participation certificates would be distributed. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
इंडिपेंडेंस हो गया।